Today I'm going to be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. So to start the eyes today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. And the first shade I'm going to be using, it's Sherbert, I believe. This one right here. So I'm just going with a fluffy brush and place this right on the crease. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Morphe M411 and the shade Deep Purple. I'm going to concentrate this mainly on the outer corner. So I'm just going to keep adding the purple and blending in with the first shade and making sure it's nice and smoked out on the outer corner. I'm going to go back with my fluffy brush and no additional shadow and just blend everything together. I'm going to pick up this shade right here called Pink Champagne on a flat shader brush that I'm going to spritz with some Fix Plus just to intensify the shimmer. And then I'm going to concentrate on the inner corner in patting motions, and I'm going to pack this shade all over my eyelid, mainly on the inner. I'm not going to go all the way on the outer corner. I'm going to stop around right here. And then after this, you can let this dry and then spritz your brush again and do a second layer if you like. But make sure you let the first layer dry before you do that. Otherwise, you're just going to keep dragging the eyeshadow around instead of really packing in there. Now I'm going to go in with a smaller pencil brush and I'm going to pick up the purple and define the crease even more. You can go back with a fluffier brush and just blend out the crease so there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to coat my lashes with some mascara and I'm going to apply some falsies. Today I'm going to be using Koko Lashes in the style Koko. You certainly don't have to apply falsies. You can just really coat your lashes with a lot of mascara and call it a day. I am just doing that for the glam effect. So now to start the face, I'm going to be going in with these two primers. And I'm going to concentrate this one mainly on my T-zone and where my pores are larger. So for foundation today, I'm going to go in with my Lancome 24-Hour Ultra Foundation. And then I'm going to buff this out with my Morphe M439. This is by far my favorite high-end foundation of all time. You can always get a smaller brush and go right on the edges of your brows and in between your brows so you don't mess anything up. And then, as always, I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender and make sure there's no product sitting on my skin and blend everything nice and smooth. So for under eyes today, I'm going to be using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer mixed with MAC Prep+Prime to make it very bright and luminous. Now I'm going to apply Prep+Prime just right over here on this area to make sure everything is bright and luminous. My camera can barely focus while I do this because if you don't go fast, they would dry. These products will dry and sit on your skin. So you really have to go fast and blend everything together. So after everything is blended, I'm going to immediately set my under eyes with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And I'm just going to use a small taper brush for that. So now we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. And this is in the shade Light Boost, by the way. It's a more yellowy shade. I feel like if I was to bake my under eyes, I would need oilier products per se, like maybe like a more liquidy concealer. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really bake my under eyes. But you can certainly do that if you like. Okay, so for today's contour, I'm going to be using Tarte Park Avenue Princess in both forms, the stick and the powder. So I'm going to go in with the stick first and just apply a thin line on the hollows of my cheeks. And then, okay, that's better. And then right here on my forehead and under my lips. And lightly, I'm going to contour my nose. So now I'm going to blend all this out with a small stipple brush. Now we can go over with the powder and just make sure we set that contour. And then for the nose, I get a smaller, fluffier brush like that and just go over it with the powder. Very lightly. So it doesn't look just like two big lines on your nose. And then when I'm done, I like to go over it one more time with my foundation brush without adding anything to it, just with the whatever is left in there, and go over the nose just so it's a little more natural. And then I go right here under the contour and I just clean up and make the lines nice and sharp. So to finish up our eyes, I'm gonna tight line my upper and lower lash line, and I'm using Lancome gel pencil for that. So I'm gonna get a smaller flat brush like that, and I'm gonna go back in with the deep purple and just really smoke it out the lower lash line and set the eyeliner. So now we could go back with a smaller pencil brush and really smoke it out the lower lash line. Then you can add a little bit more of this shade that we started with and run through the lower lash line with your pencil brush. It doesn't make a crazy difference. It just helps blend any harsh lines that you may have over there. Now we can add some mascara to the bottom lashes. Now we can go back with the flat shader brush and add a little bit more of that shimmery shade to our inner corners. So now for blush, I'm going to be using Too Faced Love Flush Blush. in the shade Your Love is King. These blushes are very pigmented, so be aware. And I'm going to apply this with my Morphe E4 brush. Just on the apples of my cheeks, blending up. And today for highlight, I'm going to be using Becca Champagne Pop. Okay, so now to finish up our lips, I'm going to go in with Too Faced Melted Lipsticks, and this shade is Melted Nude. So now the look is complete.
Oh, 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 oh.
You can go, okay, so just in case you're wondering, this is what happens when you have a 2-year-old little boy who plays all day long and is full of energy. Don't cry.